Hi, bit of a different video today. I was nominated by Rich Tappenden, aka Retro Tap, to pick a game for the A to Z of gaming. Now, I don't really know much about the A to Z of gaming other than lots of different channels on YouTube are picking a single game for a single letter and then nominating other YouTubers to pick their game. Rich has given me the letter J. Obviously, my channel is very heavily Spectrum weighted, so first thing I did was look at Spectrum games. I didn't want to pick a game I've already covered on the channel, and unfortunately, that ruled out the majority of the decent J games. I've already covered Jack the Nipper, Jet Set Willy, even Jack Charlton's Match Fishing, Jumping Jack. I could have picked any of those, to be honest. I could have picked Jetpack, but that's a bit too obvious. And I've not played any of the Joe Blade games. Yeah, I couldn't think of many more J games, maybe Jaws, but again, game I've not played. So I thought, let's look a bit wider than the spectrum for a change. And back in 2011, I went to an arcade event in Exeter at the Arcade Barn, and it was billed as a UK Retro Arcade Championships or something along those lines. And I went along with a couple of my retro good buddies, including Matt Witchfinder, who people may know from his YouTube videos, Boggy B68, who's also well known in the retro scene, P. Forson, and there were many others, Renegade Psy, and many more that lots of retro gamers will know. So yeah, we went down to Exeter and we took part in this competition. I came 10th actually, and I was really pleased with that. Even more so that I beat P. Forson, and that was my big challenge of the day, was just to beat my mate. Came away with 10th and beating him. Job done. So what we did at that tournament was we played on 10 different games. Everybody logged their high scores, and then there was some kind of algorithm used to work out who was the champion at the end of it. Don't remember who won it. I do remember seeing John Studley play Hypersports. First time I'd ever seen his technique for Hypersports, which was quite a sight to behold. If you haven't seen that, sure, there's got to be some YouTube videos out there of John playing Hypersports. He absolutely wiped the floor with a lot of us. But obviously Hypersports begins with H, and I'm here to talk about J's. There was one game in the tournament that we'd never played before that began with J, and that's going to be my pick this time, and that's Juno First, which is a 1983 arcade shooter from Konami. It's kind of a vertical orientation, but you can travel forwards and backwards, and it's almost a single screen. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird perspective, but yeah, it's a fabulous shooter. Never played it before. There's a couple of things that make it unique, and that traveling forward and back to avoid or to hunt down the enemies is one of the things that makes it unique. And another one is that every now and again a planet pops up, and if you shoot that, a humanoid is released, and grab the humanoid and you get a limited time multiplier on your scores, and that's absolutely essential if you're going to be going for big high scores. And that's one of the things that I regularly do whenever my good mate Boggy B comes up to stay with me. We spend hours playing Juno First. When I turn the arcade machine on in a minute and show you the game, you'll see on the high score table that it's all me and Boggy. He did pit me last time we played, so I've got some work to do to try and get back to the top of the table. But it's an absolutely fabulous game. It's probably my second favourite arcade shooter after R-Type. Definitely my favourite ever vertical orientated. I'm not sure which word's right, but anyway, it's my favourite, certainly my favourite vertical shooter. So why don't we have a look at it? Okay, so here we go, Juno First. Right, so one tactic that I tend to use at the start is to not kill any of the enemies until I get the multiplier, because it just means there's more enemies on the screen then for you to shoot to get the multiplier. So I tend to just dodge and weave until the planet comes up, which should be fairly soon now. Let's just keep going. There it is. So shoot that. There's the humanoid. Collect the humanoid and then get blasting. So that's kind of the tactic I tend to employ early on. Not great there. Should be getting into the 3000s for the multiplier, but not too bad. And that should easily finish that level. Usually you have 2 levels before you get a bonus level, so this will be more of the same but a bit more difficult. I'm not going to try and keep them all clear on this one. I am going to shoot a few just because it can get a bit hectic and I don't want to lose a life early on. So let's just keep going. Find the planet. Not yet. There we go. Ooh. Right, so let's get blasting again. Oh, not getting many here. Oh, could get a few now though. Not too bad. Into 2000s. Oh, and then straight into an enemy. But let's just finish this level off and then we get onto the bonus level. It's all fairly simple. They don't shoot at you too much until after the bonus. Things hot up after the bonus level. Here we go. So they won't shoot at you until towards the end. Any that are left will start shooting at some point, but you can usually shoot them all without having to get shot at. So I've not done great on that bonus level, but got everything cleared. I think back in 2011, I lost another life. I think back in 2011 at the arcade barn, we were only getting around 39,000, me and my group of friends. And now, you know, we're looking at well over 100,000 for an okay score. So definitely got better. See, from this level, we've now got the homing missiles to look out for, and they can be an absolute bitch. Let's see if we can get that from the bonus. There we go. Oh, hardly hitting any enemies though, so that's not much of a multiplier, but not too bad. So we'll just keep going. You get the different coloured enemies usually mean that they're you might get a bright green or a bright pink one, which are usually a pain in the arse. They'll come at you fast. They'll send out lots of firepower, but it's not too bad. This run isn't great, but 70,000, that's okay. But yeah, this is how it starts to hot up, and you do have a teleport button or hyperspace or something like that. Basically makes you invisible for a short period, so which you can use if you get into a load of trouble, but I tend to forget that it's there. Oh, and I've just crashed trying to get my humanoid, but never mind, and there you go, there's Ice Spot here. But no, look, I am at the top. So there you go. My choice in the A to Z of gaming for the letter J is Juno First. I have found out that there were a few home ports of Juno First, including for the Commodore 64, MSX and Atari 2600, but I haven't played any of those. So I suppose all that's left is for me to say thanks to Rich Tappenden for nominating me. I don't really know many other YouTube channels, so I'll nominate the 2 that I do watch. So that's Tezex Spectrum and Donut Donny. And for my 3rd nomination, I'm going to pick WizWords, which is Graham Mason, who writes for Retro Gamer amongst other things. Graham hasn't uploaded a video to YouTube for about 10 years apparently, but he has been known to record the odd 1 or 2 and post them to Facebook, so maybe he'll make an exception. So Graham, Tez, Donny, if you fancy giving it a go, then your letter is K. I'll put info into this video's description about the A to Z thingy, as well as a few more links and goodies to relevant stuff, so check it out, and I'll see you soon for one of my regular videos on Sir Clive's Retro Games World.